All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. How stand your ground happens. Off the day I was leaving the gym, headed to Walmart. So I'm at a light. I look over, pretty young thing over there, and I glance for a little too long. So the light turns green, and I'm still looking over here. So the car behind me hits me. Now the light was red initially, so it wasn't like somebody just coming from ways and ways. No, they were just right behind me at the stoplight. So the car behind me hits me, boom. I'm like, okay, all right. So I pull over into the driveway of the parking lot right at the light where we're at. So what this guy proceeds to do is he drives the fuck off. And I'm like, okay, so now I know what kind of person I'm dealing with. But what he forgets is the light, the next light, it's a long ass line and it's gonna turn red. So I go on the side of the parking lot and I just drive forward some because it's a long ass parking lot. Because the parking lot goes all the way to the light. So I get out of my car because all the cars are stopped because it's a red light. I get out and I tell him roll your window down. So what this guy proceeds to do is he rolls his window down and he looks at me and he says, "Oh, look, I'm sorry. I dropped my coffee." And I was like, "Okay, reach out, shake his hand or whatever, say fine, whatever. No harm, no foul," because it wasn't like he smacked into me. It's like a 2 mile per hour bump. But I realized when I got out of the car and I told him to roll his window down, he was really he figured he was gonna just ride off into the sunset being an asshole. So at that particular point, I'm looking, but I ain't saying shit. There is no coffee. There is no smell of coffee. There is no spilled anything. Boy, as he's shaking my hand, he's like this. Like his hand is out, like I'm sorry. But he's down. So I look at him and I said, look, I see your hand, man. You know. And this is why I say this is how standing your ground happens because a lot of people do shit to start shit, but they expect to play the victim if some shit really was to pop off. Now, the thing about it is, if the dude would have beat this horn and said, go, I understood that. If the dude would cuss me out, I understood that. But to hit me and then drive off like, fuck it. Okay. Now, I got a gun too. Now, I could have, if I would have got out my car with my gun in my hand, people would have thought, whoa, why is he? Because I already been in quote unquote technically a hit and run. So I'm like, okay, this motherfucker is bullshit, is on some shit. So let me protect myself from the person with the hit and run. But the thing about that is 2 miles per hour, like, is it really that serious? No. But this older white fellow that's who behind the wheel of his car, he was a G. When he's face to face with a person, all of a sudden he's sorry. But then he's not sure how sorry he want to be because he think he can reach his gun just in case. And I'm like, so let me get this right. You willing to start some shit, try to run off after you started some shit. You get confronted, you get apologetic, but then you want some shit to pop off because you got a gun. Now, mind you, if a person, here's the thing about weapons. If I'm close enough to you to touch you, and I'm faster than you, and I know what I'm doing, the fact that you got a knife or a gun may not necessarily play well in your favor because of the close distance, you might be nullified. And if you still holding, if you still down here like this, like I could reach my gun from under the thing, and that's too late. That's too late. Because if I was to yank his ass, that's what it is. But that's a whole nother story. Now, the reason why I say this is the title that I said this is how stand your ground happens is because I've run across numerous people who've done shit like this. Because I think a while back I told y'all about dude followed me into the mall parking lot, cut me off just for following's sake. Now, unfortunately, what I say about this, a lot of times when I have these altercations like this that just make no fucking sense, they're usually with white people. Do instigators of other ethnic groups happen? Yes, but the majority of them are usually with white people starting some shit. And then either for the most part white, then probably Hispanic, and then I get black males. I don't really females, not really an issue. But when I say white people, I've had this with white men and white women. They just, but it immediately goes from like, yeah, what you want to do to oh you willing to go get, oh shit, okay let me. They go from I'm a G to let me manipulate this law in my mind to make this scenario work. And it's like, okay, whatever. Because I've been in those scenarios where people just pop shit, start shit, and then, like I was telling you with the other guy that cut me off in the mall, because I said this previously, he wanted to be threatening until I got close enough to him to say, yo, what? Fuck you, fuck you talking to? Like, have you lost your mind? And then it's kind of like, I can't punk him. But I'm a white guy. Like, whatever. Same thing has happened with even cops who roll up and try to pop shit and start shit, and they're one way alone, and they're a different way as when backup shows up. It's completely different individuals. I had a white lady do the same shit. She went just like she thought she was just gonna go ham, and I'm like, bitch, if you don't shut up talking to me, and then she said, I'm gonna call the police. Like, okay, whatever. But these are how these situations happen, because people have the assumption, and it's a legitimate assumption that if they fuck with me, I'm gonna be the aggressor, because all you're gonna see is some white person and some black person. Like, and even on my job, it changes because I see white people doing that shit to other white people, and it's like, they can't do the little victim thing, because if the cops show up, they're gonna see a white person and a white person. Okay, let's just break this shit up, because I don't believe you, and I don't believe you, but I can't say one of you guys was the actual aggressor, because both of you are white in a sense. But when it's a white person and a black person, I don't believe you, but I don't believe you, but you're black. I know I could pin this shit on you. And because of that, that's when people come out with the, well, that's part of the Trayvon Martin situation, and the Mike Brown was charging me, and the John Crawford and the Tamir Rice, so he had to be 20 type shit, and this guy's shooting guns, because people automatically jump to that. And it's always a situation where if I'm talking to you publicly, because this happened also. You ever have a conversation with somebody and you're just talking to them, and they decide to raise their voice and go, like, they gonna just raise their voice and talk crazy, and you're like, what? So, man, we gotta watch that shit. And then they try to make it a big scene, and if they make it a big scene, then other people, you should go. Don't, no, you get out of here. Nobody ever says to the person who done lost their fucking mind and talking crazy, shut up. What they say is, no, you should go. So because of that, everybody bands together like, the guy was intimidating, he was scary, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. And this is part of the reason why all this video and audio is starting to change the world's view on sometimes things we would say as black people, because what's going on right now has been going on. It hasn't been a time when it hasn't been going on. Let's just say that. But when you see people starting shit with your own eyes, it's different from you hearing it and now, because those people act like this and those people are like that. And I saw a rap video on BT and I know those people act like they're crazy. And then you're seeing it for yourself, and you could justify. It's hard to justify your own eyes and ears and context. You have to make up some other shit to make you feel better. But a lot of times, instigators will create situations and throw fuel on the fire of a situation and say some shit like, that's just the way it is. Yeah, I was scared. And just like there'll be a person who might comment to this, say, you should have never got out of your car. Well, fine. Maybe if I'm driving down the road, I'm going to hit your ass and drive the fuck off and be stuck at a light while you next to me like, are you in a parking lot doing what normal people do? If you hit somebody, you go check on them. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter because, see, that's a psychological issue sometimes. Because everything is not World War III. Like, but at the same time, people with that instigator mentality, I see it all the time. You know, and as a matter of fact, like I'm gonna flip this around. There's one dude, there's a real cool guy that I cool young dude that I run across a lot of times on my job. He was doing his thing, and this other young white kid, because he's a white dude. This other young white kid comes around and completely just cuts him off, like in a residential area. And I was like, this motherfucker has lost his mind. But what the guy did, he sped up, cut him off, turned the car. He said, get out. The guy got out the car. He was like, look, his kids around here. His family's around here. What the fuck is wrong with you? See, that's the type of shit that's gonna get you fucked up. And the white kid was just like, see, he was cool. He was cool when he could just be Billy Badass and thought he could just drive off. But it wasn't so cool when he found out that he wasn't Billy Badass. And the guy who's pretty much, he's a nice dude, man. When he says, look, you need to chill out before you get fucked up, he means you need to chill out before you get fucked up. And he was justified in being that way at that particular time. But then the guy was like, oh, my bad. But see, the guy wasn't reaching for his gun or knife or saying, oh, this white guy's gonna kill me. No, he was saying, yeah, maybe I do that to other people, but I probably shouldn't have done that to you, because my habit might get me knocked out by other people. And that's just a man up to man thing in general. But I just put this I'm saying this because at the end of the day, people don't take into consideration, this is how stand your ground shit starts sometimes, when people actually will start some shit with you, but act like they didn't start no shit with you, because they can follow the narrative that you see on TV all day long, and people go, oh yeah, that's like the last story. Uh-huh. So what about the part before that? And that's when you hear people say, it doesn't matter. Okay. So if I do the same thing to you, it doesn't matter. But then it does matter. All right, I'm out.